Am I the a hole for letting you know I'm divorcing you by sending you a thread on the website you used to ignore me? Ooh, God, this seems like tea. Hi, Stefan. Maybe you'll finally listen. And if you're wondering if you can speed home and stop me from doing this and leaving, it's too late. I'm sending you this after I've already loaded everything in the car and left. Don't worry, I spoke with our landlord and took my name off the lease. I've set up a direct deposit for your next month's rent. After that, you're on your own, buddy. I guess you're wondering why. I'm guessing you'll act like you're completely blindsided, right? Because you've done absolutely nothing wrong? And you're a great husband and father to be, aren't you? Well, buddy, let me break it down in language you can understand. I, 29 female, have been married to my husband, 35 male, for 5 years, and we've been together for nearly 10. On paper, everything is fine. In reality, our marriage is anything but. I've reached my breaking point, and I need to know that I'm the one, and I need to know if I'm the one in the wrong here. From the beginning, my mother in law has been a nightmare. She's made everything about her from day one. Our wedding, she wore white, claiming it was family tradition. It wasn't. She constantly criticized me for my cooking and my appearance. I'll never forget the time she called me fat at a family gathering right in front of everyone. And what did my husband do? Nothing. Not a single word to defend me. It didn't stop there. She accidentally destroyed my belongings, including my grandmother's necklace, which she threw out because it looked like cheap costume jewelry. She's gone out of her way to make me feel small and unwelcome in my own home. But every time I tried to talk to my husband about it, he'd brush it off, saying I was overreacting and being too emotional. And then there's my husband. He's always on Reddit, constantly giving strangers relationship advice, which is laughable considering how he treats me. He spends more time rating women's boobs on Reddit than talking to me. Literally. And just so you know, the last pair you rated weren't 4 out of 10, they were a 10 out of 10. Yeah, he's got plenty of time to do this, but he can't be bothered to remember anything about my life. He'll forget my birthday, our anniversary, every simple thing like what I'm working on or what's important to me. But he's a perfect memory for his work, schedule, and things that matter to him. When we fight, it's he becomes incredibly hostile and always throws a sarcastic buddy at the end of his sentences, like I'm some acquaintance he can barely tolerate. Ugh. And he never cleans. The house, the dishes, the laundry, you name it, they're all on me. Like he thinks being an adult is optional, as long as he's got a job and his Reddit account. The final straw came a few weeks ago. I'm 5 months pregnant with our first child, a daughter. My mother in law started making comments on how she'll have to whip the girl into shape and how she'll raise her to be tough because I'm too soft. When I told my husband that it didn't want his mother to have much influence over our daughter, especially since the way she treats me, he just laughed it off, saying she means well, and I was overthinking it. But the moment that truly broke me was when we were talking about our future child care, and my husband suggested that his mother should watch our daughter while we're at work. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that, especially considering how the mother treats me. And he snapped and he called me paranoid and said I should get over it because his mother was going to be a big part of our daughter's life, whether I liked it or not. This is the same woman who believes corporal punishment is okay. I've seen her hit my husband's nephew for the smallest things, and no one does anything about it. It's like we're all living in some kind of cult. Well, I'm finally waking up to the reality of what's going on. If he would not stand up for me, how could he I expect him to stand up for our child? I started to fear of what kind of environment our daughter would grow up in, a place where she might be belittled or bullied by her own grandmother. and with a father who wouldn't do anything to stop it. Oh, well, I did mention that he missed our first ultrasound. His mother's needed his help with something urgent. It turned out he was fixing her Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. He chose over our daughter for the first time. That told me everything I needed to know about where I stood in his life. So I packed up and left. I'm done living like this. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I've already contacted a lawyer, and you can't scare me into complying anymore because I have all those texts. You know exactly the ones I'm talking about. So, Stefan, I wish you all the best for your future marriage with your mother and the women of Reddit whose boobs you don't even deserve. Am I the a hole for leaving my husband after he neglected me for years? Letting his mother mistreat me and made me fear for our future daughter's safety? Tiny update. Stefan has seen this post. He is mad that apparently one of you found him based on the my rate my boobs thing, and he deleted his account. For any purposes, I want to clarify that I left out any actual incriminating information that could lead you to doxing him. Any and all people who are pretending to know me or have any incriminating information about me are lying. I am not from South Carolina. I am not moving in with any other guy, and I'm also not sleeping around. That's it. My opinion, no, you're not the a-hole. There's no reason that you have to be treated that way, especially if you're in fear of your daughter. Number one is your parent responsibility. No one should have to be treated like a second class citizen in their own family. That is just god awful. Don't do it. You're strong. I'm proud of you. Good job. What do you guys think? Please like, comment, and share, and let me know.